All right, print ranchers and all the fellow enthusiasts and stuff, it's Cyber Monday. And there's really just one deal that is just blowing me out of the water. And it's this one. It is the Centauri Carbon is now on sale for $265.99 for 12 more hours. I'm at a loss for words because that is such an incredible deal. Now you can hate Centauri Carbon because they lied. I don't know if they lied. I think they got bamboozled. I don't think they did all the upgrades in this machine, added the multicolor port to pull a scam. That's some tinfoil hat kind of thinking right there. But you know what? Elegoo, as I said, it's Elegoo. They've always been a discount kind of level company, and they're going to, maybe they should have checked harder. I'm not saying they're blameless. They should have had, before they promised it, and they promised it from the beginning. How they don't end up in a class action lawsuit would be beyond me. All right? It's clearly coming at some point. There's going to be enough people pissed. They're going to get together, and they're like, I bought this with the expectation of color. I want color. And I don't blame you. But let's be clear. If you don't care about color, but you care about engineering grade filament, and you want a Core XY fully enclosed with a let's be honest, it's a almost bamboo level color screen on it. This is a great deal. This is a killer deal for 200. Oh my gosh. I just sold mine because I had to make room for the Cheaty Q2. And I regret it the minute it went out the door. I could do all the stuff that on my other units that I could do with this. But for just a standalone unit that I could just throw, engineering filament in it, carbon fiber, all day long. And it had the best build plate. Not one single adhesion issue, and stuff always popped off. Like freaking magic. I'm pretty sure they coated it in fairy dust. I've seen all the build plates out there. I've got 14 machines in the shop right now. I've played with them. The best build plate. If all you want is single color, it's got to be a consideration. That said, let's do the math versus Elegoo or versus Bamboo, because everyone knows I'm a Bamboo shill because, yeah, just so you know, Bamboo doesn't pay me for any videos. And they do have, to be fully honest, fully transparent, they do have an affiliate program. They pay 1%. That is the lowest affiliate program anywhere. The only one who's comparable is Home Depot. Home Depot pays 1% also. But if you do links through YouTube, it's like 5%. So even there, it's better. No one has as low an affiliate rate as Bamboo. If I wanted, the Creality is offering up to 13 or 14% right now. Elegoo's higher than that. Anycubic, they're all higher. All of them. Like exponentially higher. So when I talk about Bamboo, it's not for the money. It's because I believe it's a solid product. So again, as I said, let's do the math on this, all right? Let me pull it up here. So they've got their Cyber Monday, Black Friday deal going on. And the two options here that we have to talk about are, well, I guess we'll put three options in here, all right? Is we'll talk about at the high end, not that one. That's the wrong one. That's a great unit. Don't get me wrong. We're looking for the PS2. The PS2 out of the box. And I've done carbon fiber on this. It's beautiful. Just absolutely. Here, I've got one piece right here. It came out perfect the first time. It's a pin for a welding table. You don't weld up against it. You have to understand welding. Anyway, point is that the precision on this and the fit and finish and everything on it, perfect. Just absolutely perfect. And you got to love that. But the Elegoo was too. All right. But you're looking at, I can get an AMS. I have all the flexibility. I can hook up multiple AMSs. There's so much more you could do with this. But at $800, that is a lot more than $266. Then let's talk about this. At the other end of the spectrum, we've got the Bambu Lab A1 3D. It's a bed slinger. As single color, you're still spending more than the Elegoo. So I don't know why. But you do have the option to add an AMS, which may happen with the Elegoo. I would not buy it with the thought that it would. You could maybe have, hope doth spring eternal and all that. But $379 for the combo on that. It does come with a hardened end. You can print with this in engineering, in carbon. It's not recommended. You really do want it fully enclosed, but it can do it, all right? This right here has been the kind of secret option. For $400, you can get the P1S, but it does not come with what? It doesn't come with a hardened steel nozzle or gears. Bambu right now has a combo kit for that hardened nozzle and gears for $30. So you're looking at $430 versus $266. You're paying $164 more to be in the Bambu ecosystem and have the option for an AMS. Now don't get me wrong, solid option. All right, I love having an AMS. I hate printing where I'm so lazy at this point and so spoiled with being able to just pop it in, have it feed, and take care of all that. And then, like, if it runs out, it automatically switches to the next reel. That is a blessing right there. Mud. Do you get this for $164 over that? Man, that's a you call. I can't tell you that. All I can say is for $266, that's an outrageous value. And you could say what you want about Elegoo. I don't care. I'm talking about the value that's going to be on your workbench and what you're going to be able to do with it. Here's the deal. Spare parts down the road? Maybe. I'm guessing a lot of the parts from what I've seen are off the shelf. At some point, they may come out with an upgrade. Here's what I think. If they do come out with the AMS option, it's going to be more than you spent for the machine. Because it's going to be the AMS and a new motherboard, and you're going to have to swap out the motherboard. But that said, if you've already got machines and you're like, hey, I just need a standalone that just prints single color, there you go. But if you're like, I may have the option, I want a standalone for $400, I can get a standalone. For $430, I can get a standalone that does engineering grade. For $550, I can get a standalone. I can get a multicolor for $580. I can get a multicolor with stainless steel options. Now, but here's the deal. You're looking at this. For $620, let's add in the stainless steel option. You're now at $650. For $650, you can get multicolor, engineering options, fully closed Bambu ecosystem. Not a bad deal. But at $650, this is where the slippery slope's going to hit you. At $650, you're now knocking on the door of the P2S at $800. So at that point, you're like, for $150 more, do I not get the P2S? And the P2S is a beautiful machine. It has some issues, all right? It's not perfect. I think they're going to get fixed in firmware updates. I've noticed some issues printing taller stuff, some VFX in there. But like the printing carbon fiber, the parts, nah, not a problem. All right. So here's what I'm going to say. If you know, like, hey, I already have Bambu stuff. I just need a standalone dedicated unit. All he's going to do is just chug out that kind of stuff. That's your option. If you like, I want to get into something now and I'm on a super tight budget and I want the ability to expand into that stuff later, then you're going to get the P1S. If you're like, I got the cash now and I want to future-proof because this thing just came out and I want to be able to do stuff in the long run, you're going to get the P2S. That's your Black Friday options. I'm sorry. I've had the cheating now for a while. It's good. It doesn't feel like a finished product. All right. There's a lot of rough edges on it. The firmware, not the least. There's not a day goes by where I don't have to reboot the firmware and Clipper. That's ridiculously annoying. And good print quality, but there's always one layer that is just completely like, why? Why did it do that? The Creality, I don't know what Creality's doing. They better be ready to pull off something huge because everyone else is running away with them. Anycubic, I can't recommend Anycubic right now because they're about to come out with some new stuff. We haven't really seen it. And then FlashForge. They used to be a great company. They've kind of lost their way. They've got some good budget options, but after that whole release where, hey, if you try to print, you know what, we're gonna brick your machine and turn you over to the authorities. I'm sorry. There's a couple issues there. First off, let's talk about this real quick. Even if you don't want to do that, The fact that they're willing to do that should scare them. What else are they going to ban? Are they going to start coming after all you guys printing, the cosplay stuff? Are they going to start coming after IP next? You know Marvel's talking to them, going like, well, if you're going to do that, you can block them from printing the Spider-Man mask, and now they have to pay us $20 every time they want to print the Spider-Man mask. If a company's willing to do that, they're willing to do the next layer, okay? On top of that, the community has basically been like, ew. So all your community support's going to dry up. You're going to about half the people who were doing it before, they already had a small enough audience. All right? If you want a big audience that's going to support you, go with Bambu. If you want a company that's going to support you with a larger audience and you've got money to light on fire, go with Prusa. Creality, I'm still waiting to see what Creality is going to do. Elegoo, here's the other thing with Elegoo. They just had a large share of stock purchased by DJI. Now that's specifically to go to war with Bambu. Elegoo might be about to jump up to that next level. But that's a might be. That's a maybe. Don't buy it with that. I'll put links to everything down below. You check them out. If you like what we do here on 3D Print Rancher, go ahead and chomp the old like button. Smash the subscribe. Ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.